And good evening, all my beautiful, precious people. Welcome to another episode of Life on the Go. It's your boy, Mr. Bugs. Still got my guest with me for another day. Not only is he a special guest, my big brother, Antonio Brown. Also, if you guys didn't watch the last episode, you guys need to go back and watch that. Just a bunch of information, amazing stuff, a lot of things that was eye-opening, a lot of things that you may not have known that you know now. Oh, yeah, he's breaking it down. We get into the meat and the nitty gritty of everything. So we're going to go ahead and continue where we left off from part one, and we're going to keep it rolling on part two. So as you were saying, big bro, that...
Yeah, so I look at all these leaders, and, you know, they want to constantly continue to tell us how oppressed we are, and the white man and oppression, and we oppressed, and they holding us back or whatever like that. Well, if I thought like that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know, I just did 20 years, 10 months in federal penitentiary, and I got out hitting the ground running. I mean, that's what I did. You know, I can't account for everybody else, but I can just count for what I did when I got out of prison. And I just believe that the same opportunities that is afforded to the white people in America today is the same opportunity that's afforded to us. Now, what I will say is this.
So you wait a minute, hold on one second. So you saying that you believe that blacks have same equal opportunity as white people right now?
I truly believe that.
Okay, how so is that?
Well, this is why. Name something. So I'm gonna break it down to you like this. So let's go back to Jim Crow era. So Jim Crow era, you know, you couldn't go to certain schools.
Right.
You know, you couldn't, get certain education.
That's
you know,
true.
you couldn't get certain jobs, wasn't afforded to you and stuff like that. So was there roadblocks back then? Yes, there was roadblocks back then. But we look at today, what law is in place that says that you can't go and get the best education? What law is in place that says that you don't? We just got to be having a black president, which means that the same opportunity. When I was coming up, my mom always taught me that I can be anything that the white man can be. That's what my mom taught me.
Right.
She didn't teach me that, the white man hold me back and they hold me down and nothing like that. So if we had a black president that was president of the United States, now I know some people say, oh man, well, he was black, but he was still half white, so he wasn't all the way black, because if he was all the way black, they want to put him up in there and all that type of stuff. And there could be some argument to that. I doubt it though, because if you running as a Democrat, Democrats are gonna love you, because this country right now is heavily leaning towards that way, towards the Democrat Party. So what I'm saying is this: there's no law in place that is stopping me from doing anything that the white man can do. Now, I even though I feel like I got the same opportunity, it's about your drive, because two people can could have gone through the exact same thing in life, but they end up in different places based on their drive, based on their mental capacity or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing I say that the white people does have a leg up on, this is what they have a leg up on black people. It ain't that we don't have the same opportunity that they have. It's that they're in a better position than we are a lot of times, because they may be raised in a two-parent household. That plays a part, two-parent household. And a lot of white people is more educated on economics. They teach their kids about economics and about going to college and stuff like that. We don't really sit down and teach our kids these type of things. So because they got a leg up in that aspect, then we may be lacking in that. And we may go through life a little harder than a lot of them sometimes, because of our upbringing. It's all about culture and your upbringing. If your upbringing is messed up, then that can mess you up mentally to be able to get ahead in life. You know what I'm saying? So the thing that they have that we don't have a lot of times. They raising 2-parent household, and even if they don't not raising 2-parent household, they still have an understanding about economics and how to budget money, how to manage money and stuff like that. Man, you look at Bill Gates, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, you look at Jeff Bezos. Man, these people don't they may wear a suit, whatever, like that, with all this flashy stuff. You'll never. I ain't never seen a billionaire. I've never seen this. This is honest God truth, y'all. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe y'all can pull somebody up that got it like this. I've never seen a white billionaire with a bunch of jewelry on, man. I've never seen that.
Man, no need for what?
Maybe I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm tripping.
That's true.
But you see all these black people, man, they got jewelry all over the place.
Just gotta feel like that they've arrived.
They sit up there with 6 necklaces on 6 chains. You know what I'm saying? Rolexes all over on both wrists, and all these rings on all your fingers and stuff like that. And then later on, you realize he broke. You got all this stuff that you done purchased, but you was worth $50 million. Now you broke. I don't understand that, man. That because we didn't ever have no understanding about economics, and we didn't have no understanding about how to budget and manage money.
And how to manage money. That's
you know what I'm saying. And so the white people, they had understanding because they was taught that
how money works.
How money works. You know how you handle money, how you manage money, how you budget it, how to spend it, save it. And you look at, like I say, you look at Bill Gates, man. He don't even wear no suits, man. I don't think, man. He wear a t-shirt and some jeans. And he one of the richest men in the world.
Right. So we do have those clips of President Trump, where he was. Yeah. President Trump and Jesse Jackson, where Jesse Jackson was praising him.
Yeah.
And he let Jesse Jackson get that building in his building for nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that real fast. Let's have a look.
There's a video that has kind of came up about Donald Trump, and this video was definitely several years ago in the prime of Reverend Jesse Jackson. You know, he had the Rainbow Push Coalition, and you know, in this video, Jesse Jackson is going to be speaking very well of Donald Trump and what Donald Trump, you know, actually did for him at that time period, with allowing them to get into a building of his. I want you to hear what Donald Trump said, what Jesse Jackson actually had to pay to get into one of his buildings to do some things with the Rainbow Push Coalition. If you know anything about the Rainbow Push Coalition, they fought for a lot of, you know, the civil rights and things like that back in the 80s, you know, 90s, things like that. Let's go ahead and roll that.
I now want to bring forth a friend who has, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such. One can miss his seriousness and his commitment, but his success is beyond argument. When we opened this Wall Street project and we talked about it, we gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. And beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz, he's a serious person who's an effective builder of building the builder people. Last year he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so this, a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
Well, it is an honor to be here, and I was with Jesse last year, and we had a lot of fun, and it was a little different. Jesse started off by saying, most of the wealth in this country is in the hands of a few. And I thought to myself, is that a bad thing? What's wrong with that, Jesse? But he did have an expression last year, and I was just telling Roger, he had an expression last year The wall on wall must fall. And you haven't used it today, and I'm very disappointed in this, Jesse, because I thought it was a great expression. And I heard the expression about 14 times, and then he came to me at the end of the session, and he said, listen, I want some office space in your building on Wall Street, because the wall on wall will fall. And I said, it's okay, Jesse, I'll make a good deal with you. I'll get you some space. You'll pay about $40 a foot. And he said, no, I don't want to pay 40. I said, how about 30? No. It was the cheapest deal I ever made in the history of 40 Wall Street. Is that right? He got it for nothing. He's a very tough negotiator.
Yeah. So
yeah. What you think about that?
Well, how is the man going to be racist and let Jesse Jackson? He said that was. He said he drives a hard bargain, and he let him get that position in his building for absolutely free.
Yeah.
So if he's racist, you're not going to do that for no black man.
For no black man, you're
just not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what people don't realize is this. Because we always want to refer Trump to Hitler. We always want to refer Trump to Hitler, like he's a Hitler and all this type of stuff. But what we don't realize is this, is that there's no way he could be a white supremacist for the simple reason that he got a Jewish son-in-law and a daughter that converted to Judaism, and he got Jewish kids.
Yeah.
When he was president, he did more for the Jewish people than any other president. He moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so he was a real friend to the Israelites, man. So if he was a white supremacist, then a white supremacist man is not going to be friends with the Jews like that, and you're definitely not going to accept your daughter marrying a Jew.
Well, that's true.
That's a no-no.
You're right.
Yeah,
man, I don't know where these people is getting this stuff from, man.
Yeah,
they just been fed so many lies and just, oh my goodness, they don't take time to people don't take time to think, do your research, do your homework, and try to dig beneath the surface every now and then. Just stop believing everything you hear on the news, social media, and all this old stuff. Know what you're talking about before you start to place your opinion on things. People love to piggyback off the opinions of others and make somebody else's opinion their opinion, and you just can't do that, man. You have to be your own individual, have your own mind, your own thoughts. You know what I mean, and have your own conclusion. Sometimes
what I will say is this: is that I've come to the conclusion, man, that I don't actually, because so Hillary Clinton made a statement back in 2016. And when she was running against President Trump, and she had made a statement, she called the people that vote for Trump, she called them deplorables. They're the xenophobes, they're homophobes, and all of that type of stuff. She called Trump supporters, deplorable people. And but so they talk about all this divisiveness and this divisive rhetoric and stuff like that, but Trump has never called the half of the country deplorables because they don't like him, man. Trump ain't never did that. Trump ain't never said that he, think that people that vote Democrats are despicable people. He only calls the people that's running despicable people because they don't have the people's best interests at heart.
You know what their agenda is.
Yeah.
And it's not for the country, it's for their own selfish needs.
Yeah. So they always talk about he's divisive, whatever like that, but he ain't never split the country up and said, man, all y'all deplorables. Only people he's ever talked about is people who's in the forefront and they talk about him. He gonna stand on that, man. You talk about him, he gonna talk about you back, man. He don't care if you got an ailment or whatever the case may be, man. That's just how he is, man.
Yeah.
You talk about him, he gonna talk about you back.
And so we do have the other clip too with him and when he was talking about Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
So he chose Oprah Winfrey, not only a woman but a black woman, to be his running mate.
So back in the day.
So would you want to watch that really fast?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and run that clip real fast.
You have a vice presidential candidate in mind?
Well, I really haven't gotten quite there yet.
But
I guess
it's just
Oprah. I love Oprah. Oprah would always be my first choice.
Oprah.
Your competitor, right?
Oprah's competitor.
You know what?
No
I'll tell you, she's really a great woman, though. She is a terrific woman. She's somebody that's very special. I have not even thought about it. I guess we'll see. Maybe that's part of the whole process.
Would she be someone, I mean, kidding aside, that you might
I
think
mean, if
about?
she'd do it, she'd be fantastic. I mean, she's popular, she's brilliant, she's a wonderful woman. I mean, if she'd ever do it, I don't know that she'd ever do it. She's got,
You'd ask her.
she'd be sort of like me. I mean, I have a lot of things going, she's got a lot of things going.
What a ticket
in terms
that would
of, that would be a pretty good ticket, but she's a very exceptional woman.
Yeah, that's.
So this is Donald Trump. This is a younger Donald Trump.
That's younger Donald Trump right
That was
there.
younger
That was
Donald
back
Trump.
in the day. So yeah.
That was back in the day, and Donald Trump.
That
They asked him. They said so because they was actually wanting Donald Trump to run back in the day, but see, he was a Democrat back then. As long as you're a Democrat, you know you could be racist. You could say the most vile things. As long as you're a Democrat, you can say it and get away with it, and the media is going to cover for you. But if you're a Republican, you can't say these things. But the reason why they hated Trump so much, it wasn't because they thought he was racist. They just used that, man, because they know it's gonna get the black people riled up. So you know, it ain't got to do with him being racist and nothing like that. They hated Donald Trump because he went up in there. See, so I always look at it like this, everybody.
okay.
I look at the Democrats, I look at the Republicans, and then there's Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
He's on his own.
Yeah, it's Democrats, it's Republicans, and then there's Trump.
Trump is in the category.
Trump is in category all by himself, man.
Yeah.
All by himself.
Right.
I knew Trump was pretty honorable to me because so back in 2008 when Obama was running for president, one of the things because I was listening to his policies. I was listening to what Obama was saying. I wasn't just okay, yeah, he black. That's definitely a plus. But I also want to hear what he plans to do.
What is he going to do?
What is he going to do for the country to make it better or whatever like that? And one of the things that Obama was saying back then, he was talking about taking money from big donors and stuff like that. And he was saying basically that if he do that, then it's going to put him at a disadvantage because, you know, they're going to be expecting these favors and stuff for him when he get in office and all that type of stuff. Later on, towards the end of his campaign, he started taking money from these big donors at the end. Of course, I didn't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? We still want to see a black man. I didn't think nothing of it back then. That he went back on his word and started taking money from these big donors and stuff like that. And of course, when he got up in office, he did just that. He didn't do nothing for black people. He did everything for gay people.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He did everything for all this, but he didn't do nothing for black people. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So then you get to Trump. Trump said the same thing, but he fell through on what he said. He said, listen, I can take money from these big donors and stuff like that. He said, but if I do that, it's going to put me at a disadvantage from doing for the American people. He said, so I'd rather come out of my pocket and fund my own campaign, you know what I'm saying, get money from small donors, from the people, you know what I'm saying, and come out of my pocket. And that way, when I get in office, I don't work for nobody. The only people I work for is the American people.
Right. Wow.
He's the only president. He's the only president in history that became president and lost money. Everybody thinking he did these tax cuts for the wealthy and stuff like that. Let me explain something to y'all, man, because a lot of people don't even understand. Okay. I got to educate people about this.
Right.
About economics. Okay. A lot of people don't understand because the Democrats, they sound just so sweet to you, and this is what we all believe, because we always believe that the Democrats is for the poor and the Republicans are for the rich people, like that. Well, if the Democrats are for the poor, that means black people be in a better position than we are today.
Right.
Because they the ones running all our doggone cities.
Plain and simple.
So if they run all our cities, why are we not in a better predicament than we are, you know, today than we was 50 years ago or 30 years ago? We're in the same predicament. You know what I'm saying? So people say, "Oh man, you want to give tax cuts to your buddies and all that type of stuff." Let me explain to you the philosophy behind, because they want to raise taxes on rich people, and then they want to raise taxes on rich people. You know what I'm saying? Whatever like that. And but Republicans want to lower taxes for rich people and the corporations and stuff like that. And the reason why you lower taxes and cut regulations is because when you have all these regulations on these companies and stuff like that, it puts a strain on them, and it makes it hard for them to be able to grow their company and be able to hire people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So this the thing. When you cut taxes for the big corporations and stuff like that, because they're the ones that got the product that's getting it out to the people and stuff like that.
Right.
When you cut taxes for these people, that frees up money for them to be able to use that money to be able to create more jobs. The prices of the goods they can lower because the taxes are lower, so they can bring the cost down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so it'll free things up for them to be able to hire more people and so forth. But when you raise taxes on these corporations, we think we doing a service by raising taxes on these people. So if I raise tax, so I'm gonna give it to you like this: if I raise taxes on these people, and let's say, so we're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about raising taxes, and then we're gonna talk about the minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? So you want to raise taxes on these corporations, and you want to take the minimum wage up to match inflation.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna talk about the minimum wage real quick. If you got minimum wage right now is at $15 an hour, and these small businesses is paying their workers $15, but they barely paying them. You know what I'm saying? They barely able to pay them, but they is paying the minimum wage at least. And then all of a sudden, you don't go up 50 cents or 75 cents. You saying that now minimum wage done went up from $15 to $20. Now, if you take the minimum wage up to $20, then guess what they're gonna have to do? They're gonna have to make a decision. What they can do is they're gonna have to cut workers. You know what I'm saying? Because especially with the small business, they're gonna hurt the small businesses.
Right.
So what they're gonna have to do, they're gonna have to cut workers. You know what I'm saying? And now you can still, so now you got, let's say you got 30 workers. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to pay them $20 an hour. I can afford that. So what I'm gonna do is 15 of y'all gotta go. Now I can pay the 15 $20 an hour, and that's gonna be equivalent to what I was paying $15 an hour for the 30.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So then if you
got to work them harder.
Yeah, then you got to work them harder. You know what I'm saying? Because you got less workers now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then if you raise taxes, so now you don't raise the minimum wage up. Now you don't raise taxes. So these corporations ain't into losing money. So let's say, for instance, you done took the minimum wage up to $15 an hour to Walmart, something like that, and then you done raise taxes on these Walmart or these big corporations or whatever like that, then dang, that has to be paid for some type of way. So what they gonna do? They're gonna raise their prices. So when the rich is when you tax the rich, guess who else is being taxed? We are. We may not be taxed on the front end, we've been taxed on the back end.
Man, absolutely amazing.
That's how that works, man.
That's how that works.
You know what I'm saying? So they playing games. Yeah, it would be nice if everybody could get a higher wage, whatever like that, man. But I believe that we live in a society that if you work hard, and you're doing right, whatever like that, you should get a raise. Of course, you know what I'm saying? But to make everybody have to pay to match inflation, well, if they raise the minimum wage up, then inflation gonna go up some more because now to pay for the minimum wage. Yeah, the minimum wage got to be paid for.
Right.
I ain't gonna take a loss because y'all thinking that everybody should get paid $20 an hour.
Either way, just because they making it look good to you, but either way, you are still not progressing. You're still being under, you know what I'm saying? You're still being led under the bus. You're still being deceived. You're still being lied to. You know, you think that you're getting somewhere. You think you're getting ahead, but it's all just a trick. We lower this, we hire that. We raise that, we lower that. Either way, is we keep you right in the same boat.
And it's a psychological game.
It's a psychological game.
The Democrats play, and they playing it real good too. It's a psychological game because they bank on the ignorance of black people not knowing what they doing.
What they doing.
You know, I even look at a lot of these bills that get passed.
Wow.
So they play these doggone games, man. They got these doggone bills to get passed, and the doggone bill, it be like a 900-page bill. Just for one bill or a couple things. Like they got
gonna read
they know everybody not gonna read that, man. They gonna tell you what it say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta take their word for what it say.
Because you're not gonna read it.
Yeah. They lying to you. You know, that's why they crapped it up with all these dogs. Now if they just had a few pages whatever like that, you read it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They wouldn't get nowhere.
They wouldn't get nowhere.
Yeah. But they know black folks ain't gonna read nothing. You want to hide something from a black man, put it in the book.
Yeah.
Black people.
Especially
put it in the book.
Yeah, especially you put it at 900 page. for this
He's
one
like, man, come
bill.
on, man, what that bill? Okay, yeah, you said to say what? Okay, yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it, whatever like that.
Yeah, not knowing that all them fine prints at the bottom. Now you can't figure out why you just done got bamboozled and hoodwinked.
Man, listen, they in California
It says
they
it in the
raised
document.
they in California they raised the minimum wage up out there to $20 an hour. They all high five and clapping and whatever
Yeah,
like
not
that.
even
Man, now a doggone a hamburger at McDonald's,
right.
man. Right now, this I only got you. I want to say it was that like $13 or something like that, man. They had to raise the price of their burgers at McDonald's and all this type of stuff. A lot of small businesses lost their jobs because California raised the minimum wage out there.
Wow. Yeah. Now I don't mean to interrupt you, big bro, because I can listen to my big bro all day long, bro. We are almost out of time, and I kind of want to touch on Kamala Harris a little bit,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, because I know the people want to, probably know about that. What do you think? Because we have a clip too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the $100 challenge, the $100 challenge.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what do you think about lady female president? Do you think that can cause any good for the country? Because me, my personal thoughts is that's just not what a woman was created to do. That's not her makeup. That's not her design. God is head of, Christ. Christ is head of man. Man is head of the woman. You know what I'm saying? And I just cannot, for the life of me, just get with the fact that a woman being over her husband, for one, let alone over the head of a nation.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm not the one. I'm not. I just don't. I don't rock like that. And I don't agree with it. What are your thoughts on that?
So I definitely believe that men are the head of the household, and I do believe that men are the foundation of any of the family, and they are the foundation of a nation. They're the ones that got nations established and built nations and built military and we fought wars and stuff like that. These are attributes that God has given to men to be able to get things established and stuff like that. What I will say is this: do I believe that can a woman run the nation? I don't believe that's a woman's role because for simple reason is that
whether she's capable or not, that's not her role.
That's not her initial role. But I do believe there are exceptions to the rule. So let me give you an example.
That's fair.
Yeah. There is exceptions to the rule. I'm gonna give everybody an example. So I'm into the Bible also. I'm not saying I'm perfect or nothing like that, but I'm still into the Bible, whatever like that. There's only one place in the Bible that I've read that where a woman was actually, I wouldn't even say exalted. It was just that God had to use her. If you read the story, you understand what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm talking about Deborah.
Right.
So you got a lot of preachers that always use Deborah as an example as how God can use them to be preachers and stuff like that. Well, I always say there is an exception to the rule. You know what I'm saying? Depending on every situation, circumstances.
But that was a situation in that era. Let me give you an example
past that. David, he was out fighting war. He was out fighting battles or whatever like that. He was coming out of the field. I'm just paraphrasing y'all, but he was coming out of the field, and in the temple there wasn't no food around. Only food that was around was in the temple.
Okay, we're almost out of time. So if you could.
I'm give me
go ahead.
So he went to the temple, and wasn't nobody supposed to eat the bread in that temple but the priests. But because he was weary, coming from war, coming from doing God's work, God had mercy on David and allowed him to eat was only attributed to the priest at that time. There was exceptions to the rule. You know what I'm saying? God can have mercy on who he wants to have mercy on you. So he wants to have mercy on you in that particular situation that he can. So Deborah, if you read the story of Deborah, we don't know where she came. She just popped up on the scene. You just see it. She just popped up. But if you pay attention to the story of Deborah, you'll see why she was in that position. She didn't want to be in that position. Deborah wasn't a feminist. She wasn't beating her chest, thinking she was over men and she wanted to reign over men and stuff like that. That's not what she wanted to do. She was just available.
Pressing for time.
Yeah, she was just available, and because she was available, if you look at it, when she tried to get the men to go out to war, he said, "Man, God told me, man, you're supposed to go out and get the victory, man." And then he says, "Listen, I'm not gonna go unless you come with me." She shook her head. She's like, "Man, you know what? You're right." She said, and as a result of that, victory gonna be given to a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this one last thing. I'm gonna end it. So I do believe there is exceptions to the rule. Right now, I don't believe no liberal woman ever become president of the United States. If a woman was become president, it would have to be a Republican. It had to be a conservative woman. She had to stand on. She had to be godly. You know what I'm saying, or at least stand on godly principles. You know what I'm saying. She has to be one that's for the family. You know, she had to be one that is not pushing this LGBTQ IA stuff on our community, on our kids and children and stuff like that. I mean, she has to have these conservative values.
That's right.
You know, and if she was to do that and stand strong, then she surrounded herself with strong men around her, then I would be in support of something like that. You know what I'm saying? If all the men that ran as a Republican and they didn't do a good job, and she won the primary, whatever like that, then yes, I would vote for her. I would vote for somebody like Candace Owens, Tulsi Gabbard. You know, there's a few women on the Republican side I would vote for. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's good stuff right there. So my last thing I want to ask you is, so everybody's been debating all this, everything's going around town, city, state to state. Is Kamala Harris black? We have a clip for you. So I want you guys to watch real careful at what she says. Now, we got news reporters and paper clippings and all kind of stuff saying that Kamala Harris is black. But will she say it out of her mouth that I am a black woman, I am African American? Guys, take a look at this clip and tell us what you think.
During Kamala Harris's interview with Dana Bash on CNN, there was one part that really ticked me off. And I got a feeling it's not going to be a problem for a lot of the Kamala supporters. White Kamala supporters or black Kamala supporters. But I have a problem with it, and I'm going to call it out. Remember this?
I want to ask you about your opponent, Donald Trump. Okay. I was a little bit surprised. People might be surprised to hear that you have never interacted with him, met him face to face. That's going to change soon. But what I want to ask you about is what he said last month. He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
All right, folks, I got a big problem with this. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her expression. Look at Tim Walz like he's passing a kidney stone. Look at this.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Look at this.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, a very direct question.
Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that she is...
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask, continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
Yeah, so you see how... Yeah, you see how she didn't say it?
Yeah, she ain't.
Why won't she say it? You see the little game she's playing with you guys? Now everybody else is saying it, and you got news clippings saying that somebody else said that they said she said, but she will not say out of her own mouth that she's black. And everybody thinking, it got y'all fooled, that she's a black woman. She's Indian. Is she an African American, or what is her nationality?
Well, they say her dad is actually an Indian, and Irish.
You're right.
Indian and Irish.
Right.
That's they say his nationality is, that live in Jamaica.
Right.
So he's Indian. So his nationality is Indian, Irish, that live in Jamaica. That was from Jamaica.
Yeah.
And her mom is an Indian, all the way Indian.
Right.
That's the you know what I'm saying. So if you look at her past clippings or whatever like that, Kamala Harris never identified, you know, with the black community. Now, okay, so I'm gonna say this. Kamala Harris was, especially in California, you know, it's a lot of black people that lives in California. And so was she implying that did some things that implied that she was black? Yeah, there's some things she did that implied that she was black, you know what I'm saying? But she never came out and said or identified that she's a black woman. I'm gonna give you an example, because right now she's trying to identify with the black culture and all the type of stuff, and she that just was never her thing. Let me give you an example. Back in 2020, I want to say, I think it was 2020, she was on the Black Breakfast Club, and they asked her who, when she was in college. She was in college in the 80s. She was in college like 85, 86, something like that. She was in college, and they asked her. They said, "So what rapper was you listening to back in the 80s, whatever like that?" She told them Snoop Dogg and Tupac. You know, everybody who was raised up in that era, you know that that's a lie, because Tupac and Snoop Dogg wasn't even thought of in the 80s.
In the 80s, it came out in the 90s.
Yeah, they came out in the 90s. Yeah, so she was talking about Tupac and Snoop Dogg. That's who she listened to or whatever like that. And we know that's a lie. She just heard their name. So we know that's a lie. And then a couple years ago, when she was being interviewed by Angela Rye, Angela Rye asked her, you know, what rappers do you listen to that's still living today? And then she said Tupac. And he said, well, you know, Tupac dead or whatever like that. And he said, and she started getting that little giggle that she do. And then she said, man, you know, just move on. You know what I'm saying? Next question, please. Because she had she couldn't think of no other rappers. She couldn't think of no, because that's not, her culture is not black.
Right. It's not.
It's not black.
She would know. Wake up. Come on, you guys. Just pay attention. Stay woke. Let's wake up, guys.
Yeah. So my thing is, my job is to sit down, have an informative conversation with people about a lot of this stuff, and you can vote for who you want to vote for. But what I am saying is this: just know what you're voting for and know the policies of what you're voting for.
Right.
Later on in the next video or whatever like that, I'm gonna tell you, you know, what the policies of Kamala Harris versus the policy of Donald Trump, and the reasoning is why I believe this is one of the most, you know, critical elections in our lifetime, man. We got to stop thinking about our feelings and our emotions and just think about the country and what we're leading to, because eventually, man, you know, this is going to be a communist country in a minute.
It is. It really is.
You know,
it really is.
They try to make everything, everybody be equal, and we all come to the same place. You know what I'm saying? We all may not start off in the same place, but we're gonna end up in the same place. But that don't work. God don't even respect that like that, because sometimes it's because your mental ain't there, your upbringing is different. You know what I'm saying? Your mindset, your willingness, your ambition, it's a factors into why you can't get to one place where somebody else get to where you can't. You know what I'm saying? But to try to make everybody we come to the same conclusion, God don't even do that, man.
Wow.
That's actually demonic and is evil.
Oh my goodness. That is, hey, you guys, that is just fantastic right there. Just dynamic speech. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys really got something out of this. Hey, I learn something every time I listen to my big brother. You know what I mean? I hope you guys learn. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you guys see the world in a different light. I hope you understand what you're getting yourself into when you're voting for Democrat, because things are not always what they seem. But anyway, guys, we are out of time, and I don't know if we're going to be able to make another one or not. I'm sorry. We got so much that we try to pack in such a little amount of time. I don't think we're able to do it. So, you know, until next time, you guys just, you know, stay focused, you know, saying keep your eyes on the prize, know what you're getting into, know what you're voting for, know what's going on. Don't just be misled by the media and the newspaper. You know, do your research, do your homework, you know what you are talking about when you open your mouth and express your opinions and stuff out here. But anyway, guys, till next time on Life on the Go, this has been absolutely fantastic to me. So, you know, we will see you guys next time. All right. Have a good one. We out.